Let's get our chat filter set. Welcome in. I'm Janelle. This is the Janelle Art Channel. Welcome new subscribers. It's great to have you on board. Generally, the content involves a little bit of mindfulness drawing, and the finished product looks a little something like this. It starts with a blank piece of watercolor paper. Right now I'm working my way through a couple of pads of the cold press Fabriano watercolor paper. Nothing too fancy. It's a pulp-based paper, not cotton, so just pretty good for sketches. Got some other blanks standing by. I'll be working with one of the accurate 0.03 pigment ink pen. It's archival, it's permanent. So the next layer of media, which will be a water-based media, like those. That way it won't lift the pen lines. So get started in. This is just a simple exercise. I'm working on a ground of watercolor. Just letting my mind's eye pick out those shapes. Tracing them out as I go. My goal with this, or my objective, is to gather my thoughts in. They're flying all over the place today. Had a lot of stuff just tucked away for the last several months, and it had an outlet finally, so sometimes our energy can just be flying all over the place, flying around, and it's kind of late in the day where I'm at. I'd like to get to sleep here sometime, not spend the whole night up. Agitated. That was the word. That was the word that came to mind, and I was pulled up short because I didn't really want to say it, but Maya. Well, get some coffee. Welcome in, Maya. You make yourself a nice cup of coffee and just take your time. There's nothing going on here that is really critical. I saw the snowbank outside your door. I don't know if you'll be right back. We might need to tie a line on you so you don't get lost. Maya's joining us from Norway. This brand of pen has a sort of satisfying etching sound. It doesn't really raise up to the level of a scratching sound. I would probably find that annoying. This just makes a little shh as it passes over the paper. Activities that include repetitive motion can help us replenish our dopamine. So if you are struggling with things like depression, you may find yourself comforted by engaging in some activities that involve repetitive motions. And that could be anything from kneading bread to tracing pebble shapes. It could be coloring in something like a coloring book where you're moving a crayon or colored pencil or marker back and forth across the paper. It could also be a video game. It could be a video poker machine. So I offer or put out here a caution that not all of the repetitive motion activities are going to support your journey to health. So be mindful about what you choose to do. I used to play a fair amount of online poker, which I found really enjoyable. It's a little bit of a closer look there. So welcome anybody out there to join in and chat if you like. We do run a shenanigans-free kind of a chat before you get too wild with your questions. Gail Byron. Nice. Well, I was kind of headed towards that myself, and I'm such a little wound up and kind of that was an understatement. It's been a very busy kind of a day. So I thought I would come to the studio and spend a little time winding down, and I'd like to just throw the camera on when I'm doing that anyway, so glad to know that I'm not the only one who's kind of headed that way. 3 a.m. It's a Saturday night. Yeah, the only time I'm up for I would make a joke here about after a certain age, the only time you're up to have a wild time at night is the 3:30 trip down the hall to the bathroom. Just me? think I was working with some of the new colors on this one. I ordered new paint and I got some Potter's Pink from Schminky. It's this beautiful sort of clay color, and I think might have included a little bit of Daniel Smith's Genuine Bloodstone. And these bright touches are quinacridone gold, or probably Aussie Red Gold, also Daniel Smith. So, right? We're wild things. I'm up all Saturday night. Well, maybe not all Saturday night, but, repeatedly. Writing. I hope you sleep well. Thanks for saying hello. Hey! Gail says she's gonna get it art time in tomorrow with your friend from Oregon. Well, us Oregonians. Some of us. Is that your way of saying you'll catch us on Replay Crew? I hope so. I really appreciate Replay Crew. I appreciate you folks here in the chat right now and on the live stream. So I also got some genuine Sleeping Beauty turquoise paint and some genuine lapis lazuli. So I'm pretty stoked about what we're going to have to work on in the next coming weeks. Pretty fun to get new paint. I got everything out of the tubes. Not everything out of the tubes, but I got all of the colors into half pans and set up in the palettes. I got new palettes. Also ordered new palettes. So, boy, these don't look very exciting maybe on the camera, but I've got some of the new super granulating colors here, and got all the quinacridone colors out. Those are the ones that hit the wet paint and just explode in a burst of color. So now they are in a range. Added quinacridone burnt sienna. So I'm really looking forward to doing some work with that. No, those are the Lucas paints. Just set up a standard palette with those. Sorry for the clashing and banging. The blue ones. Oh, you have an actual friend from Oregon. That's even better. So, yeah. What part of Oregon? Yeah. There's really very rarely anything that's just so compelling. What I'll do next time is I will get a piece of paper and I'll draw some circles on it. So don't feel locked into it. Go live life. If you've got somebody to go make art with, I'll give you a lot of encouragement to go do that. But this one, see that turquoise color? I don't know how well it shows. Made from genuine turquoise from Arizona. And not sure. Well, I did kind of relabel stuff here on the end, so I know that the paint is more exciting when we get it wet. Unless you're a real paint nerd like I am, but I did some swatching, got everything organized in a way that the next one over is kind of the next shade or a little bit deeper in tone. So I think that's going to make my painting go somewhat more smoothly when I've got the water on the paper and I'm working wet with watercolor. I have so much paint now. I'm sort of tripping over my own paint and the different colors. So it was time to put them where I can more logically get to the next one, because I'm finding that I don't have the time to fumble around and find the paint before my water has soaked into the paper, dried, evaporated off of it. Then I have to re-wet it, and you're just getting in my own way. And that can certainly happen with watercolor. So I think mostly we're encouraged by those who teach watercolor to limit our palettes or to select our colors ahead of time. Now, for these types of things, it just a matter of choosing colors that suit the mood, sort of intuitively at the time I'm painting to get that on the paper. Outside of Portland. There's a lot of us outside of Portland. So, yeah, have fun. Make lots of art. Hope you get a chance to play with some new media or play with the media you already have in a new way. And have fun. Here I am on YouTube telling you to get off the computer, get off of YouTube, and go do other things. It's good for us to go out and, yeah. Whoa, and Gail says that she's starting an acrylic painting. She started it 3 times now. That's the beauty of acrylic. If you don't like how it's going, you just put a coat of gesso on and go again. Stays where it's put. Can't do that so much with watercolor, so yeah. I am getting a little niggling to just this little idea that just keeps going. What about that skate? It's a skate box. Used to carry my roller skates around in it as a kid, down to the roller rink, and it's where all of my stash of had to think of it. Is it really all of my stash? I think it actually is. It's pretty close to all of my stash is in that box, and I kind of keep catching it out of the corner of my eye, and I think maybe it's time to do a little work with the acrylic. Or at least, go through the art supplies and sort out anything that's become a chunk of plastic in a tube. I noticed last time I was through it that I think quite a few tubes of that are just have done that thing that acrylic does where it just solidifies. Plasticizers sort of do their thing, and it's no longer paint. But what is in there that's workable? I don't know. Maybe do we need to explore rocks and pebbles done in acrylic, or do I just need to get the stash of rocks off the back deck and scrub them up and actually paint rocks? We'll find out, won't we? Good night, Gail. Jody Spumoni. Hello. In Salem. You just keep meeting people, from nearby, for sure. I've seen you around in chat for ages, Jody, so I'm glad to see you over here. I'm just kind of working. I'm working a little calmer right now than I was earlier. I was kind of fired up. Um, but yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Glad to have you as a subscriber. Kind of been one of my best days subscriber wise, and um, as tough as things have been, that just I don't always want to have days where I go through that to get subscribers, but I'm sure glad to have folks there. So exactly, it's meant as a mindfulness exercise. And usually, if it's earlier in the day, I use it as a warm up. I deal with some reactive arthritis and some of what we call the being old. So I warm up my hands and get the small muscles of the hands and fingers warmed up, and also the hand-eye coordination. Something just about quietly spending time that is very helpful. I went through a program a few years ago called Wild 5 Wellness, where one of the modules in it is mindfulness. And it's just kind of a mental wellness program as opposed to like a mental health program. Came out of the University of Texas, Austin. There's some folks in the psych department there did a survey of research that showed um, showed that things that people could do that would improve their overall health. And they only looked at things that had statistically proven results for improvement, and they just pulled those out of all of the studies they could get their hands on and found that they fell into 5 areas. Those areas were sleep hygiene, Gail Byron, sleep hygiene, exercise, 30 minutes a day of exercise, nutrition, which was write down what you eat and try to follow the DASH diet or the Mediterranean diet if you can. Um, Community, spend some time in community every day, and that meant it wasn't texting. You had to talk on the phone or you had to talk to somebody in person. And mindfulness. If I repeated one of those, just hit me in the comments. Mindfulness was anything from like sit in a yoga pose and repeat a mantra for 5 minutes, or pray if you were already a person who had a prayer practice. And the studies showed that 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes a day of mindfulness helps contribute to improvements in happiness, enthusiasm, resilience, and optimism. And those 4 things together just can really improve your overall mental health. So that's when I adopted the 5 minutes a day of mindfulness practice. Now I do more, probably do 30 minutes a day, which is, if you're a meditator, working up to 30 minutes a day is it's not that hard to do. And I find I'm just more effective at the things that I am working on any day. I have ADHD, and because of my health, I can't take the Ritalin that I was able to take that helped with that for years. I feel like it's led me to have better focus when I really, sometimes with ADHD, you just can't get yourself in hand. And this is basically just practicing doing the same thing for 5 minutes. So that has improved my ADHD symptoms. So this is just my way of sharing that and encouraging people to find something that works and do it every day for 5 minutes. Because university research studies show it'll improve your health. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jody. Jody, I was on another live stream earlier today, and Jody says, you did great on that live, and I appreciate the info you provided. Yeah. You subbed up. Yay. Welcome all the subscribers. Love it, love it. Yeah, if you double tap that screen for me, just stroke my ego. I'll take it today. I appreciate it. Anyway, if you're not sure where to start with it, there are apps like Calm. I think I used that one for about 5 minutes before I thought, oh, I can go listen to my own CDs of rain sounds. I didn't get very far in it. I just kind of squirreled off and went down another avenue. But yeah, I always invite people, if there's some sort of a meditation app or mindfulness app that you have that you like, drop a comment. If you're on replay crew, hit those comments and share that, what you like, what works for you. If there's books, I've got a couple of books of meditations, and you can just read them. You know, it's great if you've got somebody who'll read them out loud to you while you sit there with your eyes closed, and you can read them in, record it, and then play it back if you're not too annoyed with the sound of your own voice. Lots of ways to get your meditation on. So it can help lower your blood pressure, slow your heart rate, all that good stuff. And that book, I think it's the numeral 5, Wild 5 Wellness. It's got the longest, stupidest title. I mean, I think they could have really benefited from somebody to give the whole program a marketing makeover. But there's an insurance company that has a free copy of it online if you don't mind getting the health insurance company stuff along with it. You can also pick it up on, oh golly, I hate recommending Amazon online. You can probably find it. You can find it online, I think, from the University of Texas as well. And the author is Jane, Jain. So I lost 65 pounds after I took it up, and I think it came off in about 5 months. I wasn't really trying to lose weight, but I'm diabetic and I had weight to lose. So once I just started walking 30 minutes a day, and was being very resistant to the whole program for quite some time. And then I found out you don't have to do 30 minutes in a row. You could do 6 minutes 5 times, or you could do 3 10-minute intervals, or you could do 2 15s. That, for me, that's how I just got started. And walk out the door and walk to the end of the street and walk back. It took me about 5 minutes. I resented every step, which is goofy because I kind of like hiking, and I was an athlete when I was younger, but for whatever reason, our minds, bodies can become less cooperative as life goes on. And it wasn't too long, a couple months maybe, and I realized I was walking a whole loop around the neighborhood, which was a mile, and just built on itself, and it was very sustainable. So I had a heart procedure in March of last year, and that has me still on some physical restriction, so. I tell you, I would sure give that a try before I'd ever do something like Ozempic. And also because it was just like, what the heck's happening here? My pants are baggy, you know? One of those kind of, the good find that way. And the book costs like, I forget if I said before, but I think it's like $19.95. It's, could divert a little bit of money from the coffee purchase and just work that into your budget. I really ought to be sponsored by those guys. I'm always talking about it, but I know I run into a lot of people who also deal with depression, and I'd had it for years, and it just became what they called treatment resistant. The medications weren't working. They never really did that well. And so I was casting about looking for something else to try, and got run through dialectical behavior therapy more times than as many times as the insurance company would allow, actually, I think is probably what the story was there. And 0 of 10, do not recommend for people with autism. Too many rules. And I just kind of brainwashed myself there. Kel Mims, welcome in. Hello. Kel, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And, yeah, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I expect there's going to be retaliation videos going. I've already gotten some emails that show some really hateful things that she's putting out about me. I'm guessing that I can't do anything without some sort of being supervised and watched as I do it. That's YouTube. So, yeah, I know I have a strong suspicion that Nance is here with us tonight. And I just can't reiterate this enough that I wish to be left alone. And if you keep picking me up and handling stuff and sending out the sort of stuff that you sent to Denmark, you're going to remind you're choosing to pick up a rattlesnake. And I'm done just keeping quiet for the sake of the community. This community sent you a lawyer. And you treated the lawyer like your personal servant as a mod. So, taking a lot of resources out of our community. And it's time to knock that off. And, go ahead. Keep taking swings at me. We'll just see how it goes. Because I think, I know damn well I've had enough of it. And I've got a feeling that there are other people who have also just had enough of it. Am I right, folks? Are we done with it? Had enough of the nonsense? And picking on people and bullying and taking advantage of people? Yeah. right? Well, that was my aim when I started the channel. Kelly says, you're greeting everyone, and I appreciate that. I love how the chat comes in, and folks generally just, I really encourage people to be friendly and be kind to one another. Ernest Grass, hello. But I knew that we were doing work that was really stressful. I started the channel after I got fair gamed, and my answer was, oh, you're going to come to my driveway and do something to my vehicle? All right. Now I'm a live streamer. And I knew that we just were, lots of people just doing work that was really intense and really stressful. And because of my health, I really couldn't be out there and standing and doing it. Also, I have PTSD, so I'm not sure that being in a protest environment is psychologically really very healing. It might, in fact, I just can't imagine having a Scientologist, an angry one, come at me with the hose or the bucket of water, or deal with police. That's not my skill set. That's not where I can contribute. But I can do this. And for folks who've just kind of had a hard day dealing with that, if they've got a little bit of space to come in, talk with some other people, feel seen, and just kind of bring that whole emotional intensity down. So, Ernest Grass, I am doing quite well. I enjoyed Dan's live stream. I got to get back up there and watch the rest of it because I want to see that knife display box get finished up. Did you get to see the fish painting when it was done, Ernest? Should we sort through into a little mini art show here? I may or may not have made quite a few of these suckers. Yeah, Ernest popped out an idea the other night. I had a blank and he said, that kind of looks like a fish right there. So now we come to the rifling through the stuff on the desk portion of the program. We did, it was kind of a bigger format, wasn't it? Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Patience is an apathy virtue. Oh, it's runaway. Dang it. I did a small square one and there's a koi fish in the middle of it, and I was just, that's about all the rifling I have that I can do at the moment. You know what I will do? I'll find it after the stream and I'll throw it up on I'll take a picture of it and throw it up on the community post. How's that? Yeah, it was a square small one. Yeah. Unless you guys don't mind me rifling. You're in Louisiana. Well, I was just thinking the other day about, because you may or may not know, I did the data gathering on that sample for the figures. It's in my community post, but the what's everybody doing with their subscriber stuff, that was me. And as I was going through it, I thought, I don't think we've got people out in the region of like Louisiana. Have we ever? So it was just odd to me. I was just thinking of that yesterday. And then here you are from Louisiana. Wonderful. Wonderful. And yes, there's a lot of us in the community that are PTSI, PTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and I've got both. I had a trauma in hospital and that old list of the adverse childhood events, the ACE list. So know that you are not alone. Just running through my brain about how much I it's okay to talk about it. I think tonight I'm going to I'm going to try to avoid trauma dumping on you guys, because it's been a lot of heat in the community over the last week. But there's a number of treatment modalities that can certainly bring the symptoms from PTSD down to a dull roar. So it's gonna drive me crazy until I find that fish picture. Yeah. So Kel is working doing some of the computer investigating instead of boots on the ground. Yeah, Kel, leave a comment if you don't mind on one of the posts, and if you have a channel, or you don't have to have a channel to be doing some work on this. Everybody's work is contributing. So, but if you do, yeah, leave a comment and we'll link it up so that people can find you. This is the ADHD brain. It's like it's in here somewhere. now I want to find it. Yeah, it was a little square. I thought it was really cool, and I might have set it aside so that I could take a picture of it. And of course my brain is just going, I'm off work. I'm not cooperating. Thanks, brain. I'm about ready to play 52 card pickup with this and just give it a toss and come out. Well, those are green, so it's not gonna be there. It was red, rust colored. Not sure if we've done enough of these. I should be like Buddha with the number of these we've done. I should just be very, very calm. They help, though. They do. It is mostly, some of it's cardstock, but if you see how ripply and bendy, cardstock will work in a pen. Most of this is watercolor paper, and the one I'm using, it's an assortment of them, but it's about 130 or 140 pound pulp watercolor paper. And the little pads I'm working from right now are like 4 by 8 inches, which I love them for this format just because they slide. I mean, it's just great for this. Um, this pad, 30 sheets and under $10. It's very stiff, and I'm probably over explaining it, but it's textured. So that's part of what contributes to the nice little variations in color. You can really see it in this one. The textures just, they catch any pigment in the paint. If you're using a granulating watercolor, that's what gives us the little dots and splotches. So I like one that's fairly textured. Watercolor paper comes in 4 major finishes: cold press, hot press, rough. I think there's another one in there. Maya can chip in on this. She is my art supply sidekick. Actually, she may or may not be, if you'll notice her name, she may not be. She may be the main instigator of the whole art supply shenanigans. This one's a little bit different. Ernest, I think it swam away. This is absolutely baffling to me. This is sort of a bright and pop. I, believe it or not, spent the early part of the day cleaning stuff out of the shelf right behind me and took anything. I like to have stuff within arm's reach, and kind of like to have within my wingspan the things that I want to reach to quickly. And there were a bunch of things that I just haven't used in the last 6 months, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna take those out, and I'm gonna clear out some space so that I can more easily get to the things that I'm looking for. And you know, when you rearrange the studio and it just takes a bit of time. Well, my apologies here. It will always be in the last place you look, you know. Now we might be getting somewhere. And you know why that is, right? The riddle is, why is it always in the last place you look? Because usually once you find it, you stop looking. Oh, that's exasperating. Well, something new every day here. Apparently, the fish has all right. I need to take myself in hand. I swear there's one with a fish. I hope you guys are laughing. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, a retired nurse. Well, that, what wonderful work. And yay, congratulations on retirement. Okay. Cal says if you ever need to chat about trauma, I'm your girl. Good. Good to know. Yeah, Maya, we were talking, you guys were probably talking about it 5 minutes ago, that the behind the scenes stuff are the things that can lead to some bigger change, like Miriam in Denmark with the parliament work. Exactly. It's so, um, we kind of have, I described them earlier today as quarterbacks, like the people that are just like they're the stars. They've got, some of them have a real sense of, of being like the team. You know, if the team didn't have them, we wouldn't have a team, or that they're sort of maybe the only, or just a very high tier. And I think that can be, I think it's a really narrow way to look at the work that everybody does. I really think that we need everybody's work, however, whatever skills they have. And I wouldn't ask somebody who was good at mapping or creating databases, I wouldn't ask them to go out and try to do something that was out of their wheelhouse. I think when we work to our strengths, and we all, each of us brings what we're strong at, that seems to me to be a stronger, better team, you know? Um, that's my, just my old lady opinion on that. Yeah. I think, Ernest, I know I looked at it earlier today and I was just so delighted with it and I sat and looked at it. I put some pearl paint on it after I got done with the live stream and did little shapes like scales, and it's such a delightful piece. I set it aside, meaning to photograph it and feature it on the community tab. So it is not lost forever. Nothing in my house is lost forever. It's just, it's just sitting in the cupboard with the gum arabic. That's a little, just a little joke. Been looking for this bottle of gum arabic, and I ordered a new one, and it came, and I thought for sure as soon as you get the new bottle of gum arabic that the old one appears, right? The one that you couldn't find, but it hasn't yet, so it will. So Kel does not yet have a. She has a channel, hasn't done videos. At Mimsy on the go. Oh, Kelly Mims, Mimsy on the go. Yeah. Uh, I got I got no comment on that for tonight. Mm. Maya recommends don't use regular copy paper. Um, you can if you want. Do whatever you want. It's just paper. It's just a little fun to have. Um, and I'm reading here where you say you're getting a new desk and a new PC so you can get to making videos. Now, if you're going to do them all edited, I will say this is just a this channel is kind of a reaction to getting pushed a little bit by the circumstances. And I'm I'm a, you may have noticed I'm a bit of a contrarian, and I said I'm just going to use what I have. My phone is literally sitting on an embroidery hoop, which is clamped into an embroidery hoop holder, which is in turn clamped into my floor easel. On either side of it are two clamp lamps that came from IKEA. The little spotlight that I use, it's an IKEA lamp. I just thought if I'm gonna like give a fight back or just start this channel out of spite against the people that came and flattened my tires, whom I believe to be people sent by Scientology, I'm not spending any damn money on it. And so I just wrangled up what I could, and it's quite, yeah, someday I'll take a picture of the whole thing and just, I say, Like, use what you have. Don't spend resources, because Scientology doesn't deserve us giving any more resources to them. And if you're going to live stream, especially, just go. You can see the technical quality here. It's not great. It's also cheap, and it's not devoting any more resources to Scientology. That's my theory, or my. I guess that's just my vibe on how I approach it. But sometimes the pursuit of perfection. It's the enemy of progress, and it can be something you have to balance out if you want to be perfect or if you want to uh, make progress. And I think the shorter my days get, the more I think progress is the thing to really strive for. Yeah, exactly. This can help slow your brain. Marla Dillard, hello. Oh God, Marla's talking. I'm going to read that one. It's so important. Getting the link forwarded regarding the volunteer ministers taking supplies from people displaced by the fires in LA. MD Media has the receipts. One example. They were taking supplies from people? Like people who had showed up with a truckload and said, this is for the. Yeah. Shout out MD Media. Miss Matthew rolls through here every once in a while and says, what do you know about Scientology? Or what do you think about Science? What did he ask me that night, Maya? What is your opinion of Scientology? We have a standing opinion around here, which is that Scientology would have to improve before they could even suck. So, yeah. Oh, I'm not surprised that they're out in the midst of it. And I was watching those fires and I thought, they'd probably have to get through Griffith Park to get down and burn Blue down. But not all my thoughts are pretty. Enabler? Hell, Maya, you're my coach. Maya, also known as Alice in Art Supply Hoarderland, claims to be my art supply hoarding enabler. Oh, okay. Now I just get to Ernest's comment. He thinks it was on the one size up from that. Well, that would explain, because I was looking at the 3x3s. So if it was on a 4x4, and here we go again. Yeah. The next size up, there's not very many of them, so it should be a shorter shuffle. My brain is just absolutely roiling at the thought of them taking supplies from people who are burned out of their house and home. I can't catch a fish tonight, Ernest. Thank you, Cal. We'll hang around. We'll make more. We do. And every night they're just a little... Marla, me too. Did you see the live earlier? I got so dysregulated. It was like, I've got to find... I was sorting out plastic mermaids. And remarkably, people were tuning in more and more for that. So it's like, all right. At this point, like, it's out of the bag. Like, we know I am the autistic. Sometimes I just need to get my brain to stop quivering in all different ways and just quiver on the meridian. I have been trying to get some things into frames, and I'd like to do those like 9 up. And I kind of like I have enough in blues and greens to do 9 up, but they're not quite right. But um, yeah, they're about to get their frame on. So no, I just I'm gonna I'm gonna need a few more subscriptions and some more watch hours so I can have memberships so I can pay for all these art supplies I want to buy. Oh, you guys are. Thank you. Yeah, I think Maya says the smartest thing is to let people do the things they're good at. Exactly. Otherwise, you know, if we were all just being made to do things we didn't really like to do and we weren't super good at, but that was the rule, you had to do it that way, what would that be? Hmm? I mean, sounds like a cult to me, but what do I know? Oh, yeah. He's peerless. I mean, there's nobody like that guy. And if there is, don't tell me otherwise. I'm not prepared for a world that's um, not today. I yeah, I do just have a it's just a spite setup. I mean, it's just like you can't make me spend my money. I want to buy paint. I don't want to buy a gimbal and go outside. God's sake. No face. I don't know. Take a look and see if it's around here. It might be around here. I did dump the tray over on the floor the other day. It's possible that the fish are just swimming. I don't know. What color pebble was it, No Face? Do you remember what color it was? Was it lavender? What about chartreuse? Was it a chartreuse one? Kind of a aqua green? Is that what it was? I don't know. Hot pink? Did you have a hot pink one? Beige? Was it just a gray one? Pink? I don't. It might be around here. Was it olive? Wasn't olive, was it? We're never gonna find it if it's olive. Terracotta? Was there a terracotta one there? Well, I think we've reached the shenanigans portion of the program. Darn it. Keep bringing that. Is there a koala? Yeah, there might be. That's the fun of these once they're done. Sometimes I come to the workbench, they're a bit of a meditation focal point too. Not to get too, woo woo with it, but they are just sometimes it's like looking at clouds in the first place when I'm picking out the shapes to draw for the pebbles, and then you come back to them and go. So you gotta take a few minutes, sit down, and take some deep breaths and pay attention to the air as it passes over our lungs, over our nostrils, and stops being air and becomes our breath, and we exhale it. This is the new paint made from lapis lazuli. This was the drawing that I did earlier. And I think I also mixed in here some jadeite. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about that one. Yeah, I ordered some paint made out of green jadeite. It's absolutely gorgeous. And some rhodonite, which is this bright, hot pink. Yeah. So the clamp lamps look okay. They were a bit bright, and Maya said you need to diffuse that. So I covered them with waxed paper that's held on with a rubber band. Everybody do you spend the money you want to spend. It's also okay to just jerry rig that thing. Is it here? It's on this one? The koala? Let me see. Oh, is this a fuzzy ear here? Yeah, when I'm painting, you guys definitely get to throw out all kinds of ideas about what colors, and we have a lot of fun with that too. Oh. Drop short, howdy. Good to see you. That's Brad, everybody. We got some new folks here in the chat. And Marla Dillard says, if we all had to do what we didn't want to do, we'd go sign a billion-year contract. Exactly. Hey, Carrie Ann. Good to see you in here. Oh, crap, I might be. Innocent shenanigans. Did we summon you? There are some... Okay. It is a koala and everybody knows it. Oh my god. I see kind of a lion face here with the eye and the nose and the... I'm looking. Oh. So, is this the nose? Is it lower? Is it higher? Is it the whole gestalt? The nose is on the right at the top. Here? Is this an ear? Oh, at the top right. I do see like the back of a baby koala, and like this is the back of his ears, and he's like reaching around to, do the koala thing. He's holding all the pebbles now. I'm afraid to take the pen to this. I don't want to riot in the chat. Okay, so it is. So it's the back of the koala like hugging? Do you guys also see the moose head? I mean, not to take us up to Alaska, but if this is a laid back moose ear, there aren't antlers, but this kind of looks like the face and the big nose of a moose. Ear, nose. Eyes. You guys better not just be fucking with me. Okay, all right, yes. Yeah, okay. Rabbit, long time no see. I have not been on OT 420 for so long. They told it raised my blood pressure, so I haven't been able to be on OT 420 since before March. I'm quite cranky about it. With a couple of exceptions, I did get on the vape pen a little bit with the drinks, joints, and crafts, but it ended up with me just feeling like I was gonna have a heart attack right on stream. So seemed like a good idea at the time, but no, I'm still restricted. So, well, yeah, Rabbit. Hello. Yeah, I'm assuming that you just changed your name a bit. You're the yeah. If you change your name, I'm not gonna say you're old. I'm not gonna dead name you. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, I know exactly. As soon as I get done, I do see it. It's just not like I also see like a colt, like the head of a horse, kind of pointing down, and a soft little pony nose right here, and um, I think that's just kind of the fun of this, right? There's sort of a little penguin with his little beak going this way, and his head here, and his body, and his little wing, or maybe a duckling. And are you guys trying to tell me you're tired of pebbles? You want me to burn? Is that what this is about? Oh, yeah, you guys are. It's an interesting state. We were talking about law earlier, and I was thinking about common law, but Louisiana's law did not derive from common law. It derived from French jurisprudence. They got a whole other system down there in many ways. So it is. It's sort of an interactive Rorschach test. So, oh, Carrie Ann, thanks for stopping in. I'm glad I caught a little bit of bacon and bacon this morning with Carrie Ann. There's some fun stuff going on in there. Fun crowd in her chat. Yeah, thank you. Likes. We got 18 likes. Appreciate that. Yeah. A chipmunk with nuts. There's something floofy here that just looks like it ought to be some kind of a fantastic tale. just, just trying to keep me from turning that into a boulder up there. I'm keeping the pen away from it. Rabbit. Rabbit says Rabbit doesn't see much until they've had coffee. Hmm. Drop short. Hey, Jen. Hey, hey. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. How you doing? Does everything wind you up? It's running late. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rabbit. The dog in Rabbit's icon is passed, and you have the joy of a puppy now. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Ernest says where we saw this uh, moose, pony, koala, majigger. He sees a squirrel with his arms in the air going, "Yay! Nuts!" Can't argue with nut. Oh, they do, don't they? Rabbits being run ragged by their puppy. Yeah. It is so. It is a heartbreak that is. Yeah. I've cats. I'm allergic to dogs, and like even my first cat. It's been quite a while, but boy, that's a heartbreak. So no bot. Sees robots. Yeah. Boy, you guys are running the chat tonight. 14. Oh, that's a lovely stretch. That's a lovely stretch. Okay. You guys want another drawing? I've got, may or may not have blanks. Oh, Pup Groomer did not go live tonight. Okay, good. I went at kind of a weird time, and then as soon as I was into it, I was like, ah, crap. I am stepping on the other standard time zone. Time. Yeah, so. So your kids were singing and you had fun in doing that. I, I did say koala majigger. I said moose pony koala majigger. You don't want to run into those at, like at any time of day, because like claws, hoofs, oh, the rack of antlers, just yeah, yeah. So you had a chorus of singing kids in your house. That sounds like a much like that's a good use of your time. I don't want to sound unappreciative, but I also because y'all are here and well, let's find something kind of challenging in this little stack. Challenge, not too challenging. Kind of feeling this blue one. Huh. Um, if you'd asked me that 20 minutes ago, I would have known about who made the post about the volunteer ministers. Check Vanessa, is it De La Rose? She ran it on her stream earlier today. Vanessa La Rose. And I don't think it was on hers, but she did kind of a short video on it. She's on the Jen. She's on the sptv.space site, and I think her channel is her name, Vanessa. So you might be able to find it there. Yeah. Rabbit says that they tried to get another one, or tried not to get another one because of the expense, but just couldn't handle it. Yeah, you're not alone there. After my last cat went, I was like, not again, not again. And I don't know, I didn't even make it 2 months, and I was just, I knew that I needed to get um, a cat. And MD Media had one as well. Thank you, Marla. Yeah, check Matt's channel, MD Media 18. Right? You think you're going to be tough. Uh, uh, Rabbit says, I couldn't handle being alone. Like, you think you're just like, I'm a grown ass person, I should be able to do this. And then, like, every time you turn around or every time you reach your hand over and there's no kitty, there's no animal. And I think, especially as we age, animals are really an important part of having a full life. Yeah. So there was, Brad asked, what's happening with the volunteer ministers? So it's reported that the volunteer ministers were taking supplies from people who were evacuating the fire. Yeah. I love when Maya live streams, sometimes she puts a camera on her dog who hangs out underneath her studio table. Oh, I should give you guys a close up. This one's so beautiful. They got so many new paints and stuff. I didn't make notes about it, but I think this is the new paint. So we've got the turquoises and just some new gorgeous colors. This just reminds me of like the London blue turquoise and Amazonite and aquamarine. Yeah, the way they come in, and I just look at them and I think, don't you guys know you're just refugees, you just don't know it. They've been trafficked and they don't even know they need rescued. Some of them. I suspect some of them just do know, but they're trapped where they're at. You know, somebody had to put a stop to that damn cult. Just a thought. Marla, don't start with me. I just got extricated from the great koala problem of 2025. Gosh, I'm sure glad you guys are here tonight. Well, Jen, you got to come over and goof off in somebody else's art chat. It's about time. She's always working and being the host of the art chat, so. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but it's not rolling over. It's fighting back and not letting them have any ground. As much as we can keep from giving them any ground, I'm gonna do my dead level best to keep them from winning. Yeah, I think one of the places that I found a lot of comfort and companionship around the online protest space was in Pup Groomer 20's chat, where you were working on, kind of out of the phase with the with the diamond painting, but back then you were doing a lot of the diamond painting, and it sure was. Well, that might be fun. Yeah, Marla, Maya and I do some, and also Brad, Maya and I, we haven't, Brad, we need to get this coordinated. I think it's been too many weeks. I don't think it's been since last year since we've streamed together, but we'll do like a three up and sometimes four if we can con somebody else into it. And we each just sort of do our thing and talk and do art, often on a weekend. And I love that. Let's take a look here. Who is being mischievous here? I I do not know why it hid that. Rabbit? Is TLOL... That's not something... Well, puff. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube telling us what we can say in here. You know, YouTube can just shove off. Ah. Nice. Well, yeah, you don't have to... Yeah, I'm not going to make you say that. That's a... Starts with an S and it's a... Yeah. There, a lot of people around, but fewer and fewer. Hey, Hannah, Craft Zone in the house. Everybody say hi to Hannah. I am safe. I'm up in Oregon, and we did our big burn the state down thing in 2020. So, and then again in 2021. I don't. I don't think we have California in the house. But if we do, we're thinking of you. Everybody to stay safe. It is true. Brad is under strict instructions around here. Yeah, the S thing. Jen, Pup Groomer 20, does diamond painting. I think she's kind of been in a sort of a painting mode, but oh my golly, some fantastic yeah, are you going to do more diamond painting, or are you just into a different phase right now, Jen? I was so fascinated by it because I've never done it, and it was so shiny. I love shiny. Yeah, I don't care which finger you use as long as you just tap that screen twice. All right, did we lose Ernest? Ernest is from the woodworking and fishing world, and he's out hanging around. We got quite a few new people. Last week I made some new friends over in sort of arts and crafts world, and just couldn't be more thrilled to have them. Tonight we have a whack of new subscribers, and they are folks who are just discovering the autistic and artist end of the activist wing of the... Not that hard, no face. What did you do? You came and hang out. You're hanging out with us, and you're influencing the art to level up, and you're just a charm and a delight. And I'm just encouraging everybody to be nice and, yeah, welcome in anybody from anywhere. Also, Ernest hails from Alaska, so that's, I know you other kids are special, but I'm just joshing. Oh yeah, you're fine. I just want to make sure the other kids were playing nice with you. There's at least one up in here who plays a little rough from time to time. I'm looking at you, Brad. You know, you don't have to pay extra to get a hard time. We just provide that for part of the complimentary service, Brad. But yeah, we do that. And we go horizontal, so in terms of the live stream is done in the horizontal format. I think Maya and I have one that we did like a side-by-side vertical using YouTube, and less than satisfactory, I would say. Yeah. Marla Dillard says, this week she met a person who discovered she's autistic as an adult. I can't wait until she publishes her experience. You are being a very good boy, Brad. That's my story. I'm 63, and just kind of after banging my head against the limits of psychotherapy, just went, why am I diagnosed with depression? I mean, this seems like we've tried all the therapy, tried all the different medications, and it just wouldn't resolve. And I started to learn about autism, and I went, you know, this sounds to me like I might be experiencing burnout and kind of meltdowns. Like it just would get to a point where I just couldn't function, couldn't. It was something I had been perfectly capable of handling, and then I would just reach a point where just my executive functioning would break down, and I started to look at it and realized, yeah, that's what we're looking at. And that explained why all the treatment for depression never resolved the state that was depression. I think that they should have really maybe understood there was something a little bit different about me, as I was selectively mute until I was in the 8th grade. I would talk to adults, but I really wouldn't talk to other kids unless they were my cousins or, you know, one kid. But at school, I was just like, why do I need to talk to those people? They're short and they're kind of dumb compared to the adults. Just lots of things. And then I was told for years that autism is a developmental disability, and you're not a child, are you, Janelle? In the most condescending way. I guess the psychiatrist didn't think about what happens to autistic people when they get older. You don't outgrow it. Stuff like that. And then for a period of time, if you had an ADHD diagnosis, that precluded you from being diagnosed as autistic. Now we know that autistic, I mean, capital A, small u, DHD, autistic people certainly can have ADHD. My brain just squirreled away as I was, what am I doing? Oh yeah, ADHD. Yeah. Yeah. Cal Mims. Awesome. It says, your brain is so tired, but you're thankful to find this channel. You guys are so non-stressful. Thank you. Well, we try. Yeah. Yeah. Are those facts or no facts? Drop short. Diagnosed in his late 30s. So, yeah, try spending half a century just going, why can't I get this right? Or don't. Actually, just do not recommend 0 of 10. Yeah. You're a rugged individualist, Brad. Yeah, it is a whole sort of a Robert. I mean, yes, and I think my team was trying, and we were just, working through it. But I worked through and worked through, and I had just had a paradoxical response to this, and a depersonalization episode to that, and I mean, just kept thinking I'm trying so hard and there's all of these rules and I'm following all of the rules and I'm just wrapping the rules around me and trying this and um yeah, I'll kind of put the picture together. Alrighty. So you guys are kind of I don't I I'm just at the point with this channel where uh chat is shifting from just talking to me and me talking to you one on one, where there's enough people there for you guys to have your conversations with each other. And I love that. I am trying to, I know that that evolves and that there's a transition that the creator or your narrator is just, I've got to step away, let you have those conversations and not make you feel like you've got to include me. So, all right. I want a pen with a heavier line. Of course, I was diving in here looking for the 03. The only thing on my hand would go to would be the 10. Oh, golly, sorry again. I forget that the mic is right there. For one thing, Jen says that she's always wondered if you were on the spectrum or ADD or something, but none of the doctors you've ever talked to have taken you seriously. That was my story for years. And part of the problem is we're women. Another part of the problem is we're adults and we've been functioning. We also get, especially at our age, we were brought up in a time where girls were socialized. And so we mask heavy. We just can behave in a social circumstance in ways that perhaps males aren't able to do. Just that has to just do with culture, not necessarily that we're born to be polite and nice and quiet and make eye contact even if it doesn't make sense. To put a smile on our face. You're so pretty when you smile. All of that. And kind of the better you are at coping and getting by, the less autistic you're going to appear. Most of the people I know who are autistic, if you didn't know them well, it wouldn't be glaringly obvious. But there are a number of online tests that are pretty good instruments for giving you, if you score 65 out of 70 and the test says 40 and above, rule out autism. I mean, you can go through 8 or 10 of those and you'll get a pretty good feel for it. You're probably not going to get a doctor who's going to take that, but yeah, so somebody said something about battery, Thank you. Might need to just plug it on here. The masking is so exhausting. I kind of didn't really realize what it was, but it's everything. Having to have a particular tone of voice, or, I mean, I am masking like hell when I'm on here doing the smooth talk, relaxing pebble drawing. And there are times where I'll lapse into kind of my preferred voice, which is just a monotone. I don't know if it's preferred, it's just my natural speaking voice. And my favorite listening face is My brain just makes my face go blink, eyebrows up in the middle, forehead all scrunched together, my eyes kind of squinted down, and the muscles under my nose, the upper lip like tense, and then my chin kind of relaxes and my mouth drops open a little bit. If you imagine that expression, I'm told that it is it's not a happy, interested, fascinated kind of a face, that it's a little bit hostile and people don't like looking at it. So I always have to remember, if I'm just giving somebody rapt attention, that I don't look like I'm going, what the it's the what the F face, right? Um, or so I could just kind of listen without being having somebody look at me like, what is your problem? It's the I look like I have a problem expression. I don't know. And the good old look at me when I'm talking to you. I can't hear you if I look at you. It's I can't explain it. It just doesn't. If I'm looking at you, I see every micro expression, and I'm detecting that you are very angry and hostile, and then I can't hear that you love me and that you're doing this for my own good, right? This is so incongruous. Oh man. Jen says adding chronic pain to the mix. Yeah, I'm in a flare right now that is just so much stress from November through December. So I've had reactive arthritis. It's through the years it's been called everything from rheumatoid arthritis to psoriatic arthritis and Reiter's syndrome, Reiters. And now they've settled on calling it reactive arthritis. Since my early 20s and fibromyalgia, so I get up and cope and do what I do in the midst of that. And our nervous systems are kind of reactive, more so than the average non-autistic person. So if you've got some autoimmune disorders and any of that kind of stuff, that I think is going to end up in the diagnostic criteria for autism. Or something that's correlated. I don't know. I don't know if it's cause or effect or modern living. Let's see, what other random things can I spew out there to you folks so that we can just go, yeah, me too, and feel a little less alone. Oh, rabbit. Oh, rabbit doesn't buy the mental illness stuff with their own, like, case of depression, bootstrapping themselves through the day, and I'm sad, I get shit done. What's wrong with you? That kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Have we reached the day that you guys need to put comment or question? If the chat is for me? Is that today? Oh, rabbit, boy, is there a feed for you? In my community post, you can go to the one I did earlier today. There wasn't screaming and yelling. Uh, Thinking about how I want to express this. Sometimes I say, "Oh, I got the bitch out of the bag." uh, I got the lawyer out of the bag today. Right. when the lawyer comes out of the bag, the bitch just goes, "Oh shit," sits down. So, yeah. Tiff 420. How'd you sneak in here? Good day, good day. Oh yeah. Oh we're swatching and doing all that. Oh, pup groomer. You know, I went through phases of that with my mom, and I mean, I think one time I didn't see her for about 3 years, and we would have reconciliations, and I had the bone tumor that wasn't detected until it broke my femur, and she had an opportunity in her life to really have to reckon with whether or not I was going to survive, because the surgeon was saying it's terminal. She's got osteosarcoma. They were wrong. It was this weird thing called giant cell tumor of bone. And I don't know. In my lifetime, I'm a 26-year survivor of GCT-B. I have never met another person who has it or had it. I've never even met anybody who's had a relative who has it. Um, it has an incidence rate of 50 cases per year. Not in my state, not in my city, not in my country. 50 cases per year in the world. So, anyway, it took him a minute to get a good diagnosis on that. And while we were waiting for that, the surgeon was just saying, well, it's Ewing's. Yeah, she's not leaving the hospital. You need to wrap your brain around that. And I had dug my heels in and said, no, I want a second biopsy because this doesn't feel right. And, you know, the eye rolling and the sighing and the, okay, fine, we'll send it to the Mayo Clinic. And it came back, and I didn't have my leg amputated, and I'm still alive, so fly some double birds at that woman, who was the orthopedic oncologist. Anyway, but she told my parents, like, you've got to get her mindset around this. She's not accepting what is going on here with her diagnosis. He was just like, yeah, you can take a flying. And but my mom didn't have, like, I was, you know, heavily medicated. And also just going through it. It kind of, like, you put your attention to just going through it when you're in anything that's big and scary like that. And, you know, here's my parents, and they didn't have the benefit of morphine, so they did have to sort of, a reckoning had to be had. And after that, my mom just radically changed how she interacted with me. Now, I'm not recommending that you, like, grow a tumor and break a bone and, you know, put your parents through trauma so that they can have a better understanding. But I'm just saying that there are things that happen in life that can alter one's perspective about things. Later in life, my mom had she had blood clot go, and it gave her a heart attack and a stroke at the same time, and that adjusted her attitude too, because then I became her caregiver, and it changed the dynamic. And towards the end, you know, we came to understand ourselves better. And she was very young. She was married when she was 17, and I was born, you know, my mom was still a teenager. She was just barely 18, so I think it's probably really a challenge to be kind of that ideal, decent parent if you start at that young an age. People do it, but, you know, it's hard. Oh, yeah, my mom was like that too. The come in the door, not even, you know, slam her purse across the counter and have a large meltdown, or a lot of loud yelling criticism about how can't no one else can get up and start dinner. And, you know, if you started dinner and she came home, she'd say, why did you cook that? I mean, there's no winning with sometimes. Um, So there are people who do that, and they will go until they drop. And sometimes they drop, and they still get to, fight back for their health, and sometimes they drop, and it's what's called the funeral home. Oh, that took a dark turn. Yeah, tiff, tiff, tiff. Can you ask a question? That sounds a bit rhetorical. And I'm autistic, so I'll answer it. Well, yes, you can. Uh, all right. Oh, you guys are just chatting. I'm just gonna. Oh, we'll go back and yeah. Did Jen pop out? Good night, Jen. Thanks for coming in and spending some time with us. Yeah. Sometimes we just do. It just as long as we've got people who need a little space to hang out, and I'm still going. Yeah, we are coming up on 2 hours. I think I will wrap it up at the 2 hour mark, but we've got time to sneak in another one. Jen is she's gonna work on I don't know, that's like a travel paint kit, right? For plein air painting. Really, Cal? Yeah, I think I've met two other people named Janelle, and neither one of it's spelled the way I do. So, I'm just, I'm just tickled that you found the chat and could come hang out with us tonight. Yeah. I tend to get called Jeanette a lot. I've been trying to cross my L's and turn them into T's since it was done on my birth certificate. And my mom told the story just arguing with the nurse about it. And the nurse saying, but it's already filled out. Can't you just... My mom was like, no. I never could get her to tell me where she got the idea for it. There's nobody in the family with anything even close. I discovered not too long ago there's uh, so one day normally about 3 times a week I try to run a live stream, almost always on in between Tuesday and Wednesday, like late Tuesday night and early Tuesday morning. I did have something that was heavily on my schedule for the last several months, as you may know, and that every time I would disclose when I was going to do a live stream, I got pulled away or pulled into some other thing. So that really disrupted the flow. Um, and then I just was in a sort of a spot where if I had a schedule posted, conflict would emerge. So I began to just stream in a more random, unpredictable way. But there's not. Oh, the box of paintings? Yeah, there's tons of stuff. Often there's a show and tell kind of a portion of the program where we get the paints out or the swatches or it's pretty. I've just been trying to keep it fairly sedate tonight to just keep us in a calm down mode. Why I don't think you should. We really shouldn't, but yeah. Working on some stuff and I swatched out some of um, uh Maya says she gets, yeah, we'll be streaming and I'll hear Maya's phone go ding. Hey, we're live streaming. Oh, this was some of the colors, some of the new colors, just cleaning my brush. Aren't they gonna be gorgeous? Look at these colors. Jadeite, we got Viridian, that lapis. I got a new cerulean blue chromium. I'm spilling all the secrets here. Just, oh gosh, so much. Turquoise paint made with genuine turquoise. Yeah, so that's gonna be coming up in the next week. That's not fantastic. What do we got here? Yeah, just sort of work through and give things a good swatching. Those aren't the best swatches, but it was handy, so. And I'm half surprised the fish painting didn't just fall out of it. You know, as soon as I stop this live stream and pick up my water glass to go refill it, the fish is going to be sitting right there. When else? I think most weekends we try to do either a live stream where I'm streaming with Brad and Maya or Brad. Did Brad and I ever do? I think Brad and I set out to do one and then we ended up with the three of us, so it's a great conversation. I just enjoy it, and if you can catch one of those, I recommend. And also, if Brad and Maya are streaming, I moderate for them, so you can hang out with me and chat there. Not always up for a live stream. Depends on how the week kind of goes. What other day? I don't usually stream on Fridays. I often stream on Thursdays. And I like to throw one on the weekend. Just there's so much going on, and I like to kind of get the live stream going and see what everybody's up to. And they tend to run at different times, not a set time. So if the times aren't hitting for you, just kind of hang in there. I'm disabled, and I just let myself kind of have a free range sleeping. I don't know what to call it. And so my sleep cycle does kind of push around, and I'll go through, a few weeks where I'm just actually kind of on the same schedule as Maya, who is 9 hours away from me in Norway. And then it works its way around. So if the time slots aren't working for you, just give me a couple of weeks and I'm probably cycling around to when a time that's a better viewing time for you. It's kind of also complicated. This is such a long-winded answer to your question, but it's also complicated by I don't have great signal during the day. I have much better quality live streams when I run them in the middle of the night. So I think the correct answer was it depends. Keep me running. Thank you, Jan. I am just I'm making great strides on the watch hours, you know. Today was maybe the best day for getting subscriptions that I've had so far. So, just flabbergasted by that. It's a confluence of two communities coming in and just showing me the channel some love. And so I'm was 3:45 I think when I started the stream. So I've got it. I'm trying to get to 500 so that we can go to memberships, and there'll be very low level memberships, like the 99 centers. And I'm laughing. 99.99. Did you guys hear that horse shit? Oh, for Pete's sake. You know what it is. She probably wants to keep people like me and, yeah, make me pay. Because she thinks that I want to watch her shit and that she's going to get $100 out of me. And she's not even going to get 100 cents out of me. I've watched all I need to. And I think it's absurd and funny. But it also will allow me to have merchandise store, and that's something I've wanted to do. Yeah. Yeah, and the watch hours, I'm over half of what I need, so well on the way there, but appreciate them. Because watch hours have a tendency to kind of stack on, and then there's this plateau of just like 3 watch hours per live stream. Like, well, maybe not quite that low, but it's odd. It's odd how it goes, so. Well, Kel Mims, we are just going to be fantastic night birds in the live chat, and yeah. So, Pup Groomers says she's been stalled at about 10 to 12 difference range at around 740. It happens. That 700 is like, I don't know, a sophomore slump with channels, and you almost have to mix up and do. You want a little advice, Jen? I might have a little. You can either hit my email. I wonder what would happen if you dropped your subscriber time limit from 20 down to 5 or 1. I've I had mine at 5 for quite a while, and then I set it down to 1 because 5 stopped the trolls. It turns out for me on vertical live feed, 1 minute duration stops the trolls. Most of them do not have the patience to wait 60 seconds. So you might be overprotecting your chat with that 20-minute exclusion. And then I know your chat will throw an absolute conniption, but you might mix it up and see what happens with your views if you venture into vertical. I don't hate it. We've made an adjustment. We make it work. So I think that there are some things that you could do with what you're already doing that would push you out of that slump. As you may or may not know, I've been looking at the numbers, so I don't know, it's something to try. Sophia, hello, welcome in. Welcome. Yeah, nobody's going to fall for that shenanigans regarding the 99.99. Yeah. But one of my thoughts was with memberships when I get there is that I could run the Scientology content and members only with a 99-cent barrier, and that would protect the folks that are just here for the art. Because really, that art community has been very good to me, and I'm good to hear that. But the Scientology stuff just has a way of reaching back in and grabbing and yanking me back into it. So I don't really want to start a second channel and just devote it to that. I don't want to give it that much energy, you know? So I know we did another one here. I was going to do an art show, and I am dysregulated today. It'll be better. It'll be different tomorrow. Yeah, you guys want to tell her who that is? Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it out loud. Irish Mart. Did Irish Mart sneak in here? Marla, the connection did. Yeah, I would say just experiment with it. That's that without it. That was one of the things I learned really early on. If if I don't set that, I get no subscribers per stream. I'll get people in and talking, chatting, and a lot of engagement. But at the stage of trying to gain subscribers, which you just, I'm sorry to harp on about that, guys. I know you hate to hear about it. I hate to hear about it. But without that, um, without packing on a certain number of subscribers to the channel, YouTube doesn't let us do stuff. And I want to do stuff. I want to do that and to provide the content, and I want it to reach an audience. And there are all kinds of whiz bangs that you can get access to, but only if you have a certain number of watch hours and a certain number of subscribers. So that's part of the job right now to get that accomplished. And having, if I could just roll along and have access, I wouldn't have this set to subscribers only. I'd make it so everybody could come in. We could just hang out, do our thing, and we are on YouTube. We are where we are. But don't put the bar any higher than you have. Don't make the obstacle any more strenuous to get over for people than it has to be to get the job done. And then maybe, because you're looking at the same, look at what your views are per average views per video, and if you're staying pretty consistent and you're not seeing growth in the views per video, and it's not performing where you want it, then think about mixing it up a little bit. Like, maybe don't go vertical all week, but maybe just pick a couple nights a week and run vertical. Oh, is my voice getting wonky? I did plug it in. Hi, pondfish. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sophia, is we got to play the game a little bit. So how are you? How's the world treating you this year so far, Sophia? It's nice to see you. And Irish Mart, you came in and I said hello, and that was about it. And I don't think you just did the English. Yeah, I don't think I realized that you were also a neurodiverse person, and yay. More neurodiverse arty friends, the happier I am. Oh, it was, did it settle down? I had a couple of disconnections here, so it might have buffered a little bit. Is it still wonky? Yeah. Okay. It's still blurry. I don't know. Something happened, but I really didn't get much. I might be getting ridiculously low on battery, so I think that's always a sign, to wrap it up. We've been at it for a while. And I think I misplaced the first one we did, but we'll just do an art show with what we have at hand. Did we start with this one? I thought I did this. I think I did this one earlier today. It's bad when I'm like, I don't know what was different from here and there. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to put the bear at the top. Oh, see, now it looks like a brown bear. It looks like an upside down bear there, didn't it? Chat was rioting for me to turn this into a koala bear. I don't disagree with them. My brain's just trying to reconcile the I don't know. We'll come back to that one. Got some. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oop, did that resolve it? Did on my end a little bit. Just decided it didn't want to focus, I think. I am sorry about that. Irish marked. Okay. I give in. This one's my favorite. I must have just bumped it out of focus when I plugged it in, so. If you're new around here, we do have a technical difficulties portion of the program almost every night. This one used a lot of lunar black. I think, do you remember? It's probably been a month. We were trying to replicate lunar blue without knowing what the heck it looked like. We just had the pigment numbers, and yeah. We never did find No Face's Pebble, though. I didn't get the report back on it. Yeah, this is I think this is using the new lapis and turquoise paints. Or, I think from the looks of it, looks like we might have gone with the cobalt, cerulean blue chromium. There we are. So, some color, some talk therapy, some art company, new subscribers, old subscribers, old friends. Thanks, everybody. Just appreciate you so much. Go ahead and leave those comments in the replay, and I hope you'll take some time to make some art of your own. And if it just doesn't go to plan, if it all turns into squirrels and koalas, you know the rule. It's just paper. So we'll see you next time. Thanks to Maya.